Are you a healer, an intuitive healer person that is getting drained of energy, losing your energy by the practice that you are practicing currently? Now, this is something I hear regularly. Not only the amount of energy transfer is needed to be healing that particular person or that particular client in what particular specific modality they're using, but also the exchange of the negative energy they're trying to clear out of their client or their patient as well, and how that then gets attached to the healer himself. So we're going to talk about that quickly in this video, because I've developed a method or a modality, the way I go about things, where I don't get tired at all from the sessions that the modality I use. In fact, it actually charges my energy. When I get in front of my charts using my modality for my clients, I have to enable a state or a space to be that medium, be that conduit for the higher aspects of self, which include my soul, to come in and give me the answers. For example, when I used to use a pendulum, now I just run my finger or hand over the charts. It's not me necessarily doing that as the human. And this is even for people that are not intuitive people or healers. As the human, our place, our purpose is to hold space, to be an anchor, an interface, to allow an intelligence through us. That's why people like us are called mediums. Okay? But to be able to enable that, as the human, you need to create a state or space to allow that to happen, a facilitation of that through. Especially when it comes to your innate intelligence, the intelligence that has your back and wants to bring through the wisdom that is required to achieve that outcome for your client or for your patient. And also an energy that will charge your energy, because you're going to connect to a reservoir of infinite consciousness, because your true nature, your authenticity, your essence is infinite consciousness. But while being the human, the most common issue or complaint we see and we hear and we experience is a lack of energy, right? Tiredness, fatigue, extreme tiredness, extreme fatigue, chronic fatigue syndrome, and so on. When really our true identity is infinite, there is no lack, there is no end of energy. There is massive, infinite amount of energy, because consciousness means energy, as long as we can connect that and facilitate it here while we have an experience here. Okay? Now, it creates a state to achieve not only a connection for that wisdom of your innate intelligence consciousness, the right intelligence to bring through, but also connecting to that reservoir of infinite energy. Okay? So when I'm going about my practice, my modality, I'm essentially in a meditative state. It's easy, because from the human level, I don't have to do anything. I just need to sit here at the table in front of my desk with my charts in front of me and let my higher aspects of self take it away. Okay? And I am just here anchoring and allowing that space to be here. Okay? So you can see in that way, you're in a meditative state. You're actually charging your energy up because you're connected to a reservoir of infinite consciousness, is infinite energy. Bring through the wisdom's coming through from a higher level or higher version of self. Self means you. You're not connecting to an intelligence or consciousness that's external to you. You're just connecting to a higher level of you. Okay, it's very effective. and it removes a lot of interference from other intelligence that's trying to push you off track. It keeps you on track. Okay? So that's the space that I create, and it charges me. It's like I'm having a meditation while I'm working. How cool is that? Right? And I'm very blessed, and I have much gratitude for the job that and what ability I'm able to facilitate for people. Okay? Not only as the healer, but also the wisdom, the education, the greater knowing, understanding that they can take away and implement in their own lives. But also, I create all these energy tools. I create all these energy systems so people can learn as well and teach them how to do it. Okay? So, one thing as a healer, you want to make sure that your intention, because my work is intention work. Okay, we do the detective work in the charts, but when it comes to making an energetic change, we use intention. Okay, the system's all about our ability to then use our energy, because we must connect to it, as I said, through that creating space, creating state, being an anchor to facilitate that energy through. But then how am I going to use it? And the way that we use it is through attention and intention, because that's how you are as a creator. It's universal law. So when I'm using intention, I'm making sure my intention is coming from my heart, not from the head. And I think a lot of the times what we see with healers is, especially if you're losing energy, leaking energy, being fatigued by the modality that you're practicing, is you're expending your own energy from here instead of connecting to a reservoir of infinite energy consciousness. That facilitation is through here. Okay, the origin, the root of your energy is through here. We call that the sacred heart. Okay, and that's like a gateway or a portal, wormhole, either way you want to say it, pathway, journey to self, to all the levels of self. Your soul, your higher aspects of self, which are variants that exist in a multitude of realities. That's why they call you multidimensional. They are multiverses, aspects of you, source self, all through here. So you want to access this, you need to be present as much as possible, which meditation is a practice of that, right? Because if not, then that gets closed off and you have to work from here. And you've got limited amount of energy from here, and also it's low vibrational, so your ability to then have an effect on others, not even worrying about your own energy as the healer, is impaired. Okay, so that's just all about that facilitation. But let's look about the energy that we might be getting from our clients, the negative energy aspect of it. Well, way that I'm using my modality here is, as I said, it's not me doing the work, not the human Chris. I'm just an anchor for a higher level of myself to come through. So what's essentially happening when I then make the intent is that I'm not expending my energy as the human here on this plane here, which for majority is duality, where you got to remember that this plane of duality is a plane that is conflictive. It's congested. It doesn't want to enable change here. It doesn't enable change, so therefore how can we enable healing? So hence, when we try and create and change from here and we go out there to change it, for a lot of healers and for a lot of people, what ends up happening? They're worse for wears. They've leaked all their energy. They've lost all the energy because it's not the right pathway. Change doesn't happen on this plane. Change happens at the quantum plane first, which is closer to the origin of the root. And then it, just like throwing a pebble into a pond, and then it ripples out through the layers. Okay, that's where we make the change, because there's no resistance to change there, while this plane there is. So when I'm connecting up, I'm using the intention to do the work. My higher aspect of me connects with my client's higher aspect as well on a quantum level. That's why 95% of my clients all long distance healing sessions. If you were on the moon, I could work on you from here to the moon. Okay, because on this plane there is distance, there are limitations, time, distance. Quantum, there's no such thing as distance. There's no such thing as time. There's less or no limitation. So we work there. Okay? So I'm not expending my own energy as the human to that person. I'm merely connecting to my higher aspect, which will then connect to the client's higher aspect. And the client is being healed by their own energy because we're facilitating a greater connection to self within the client. Okay? We'll do that, which we call opening the door for the client, but then it's up to the client with their greater knowing or understanding that we teach within the sessions to learn how to keep that door open. We're a guide, as a healer, we're a guide of facilitation with the client, but really when it comes down to it, the client is the healer because they need to maintain the principles they've learned, okay, and keep that doorway open, right? So it's creating an environment for the body to heal, okay? We hear that regularly, right? Is that the body knows how to heal. We just need to create the right environment for it. Now, epigenetics and the genome map clearly showed us that the expression of a gene, what turns a gene on, like a light switch, whether it's dormant or expressive, is the environments within. That's what it found. So it's not about the specifics, it's about the environment we create, and that environment can be pro-healing or resistant to healing. Okay? So you can see with this modality and this way of doing the healing, and I can help you with that, is that I'm not expending my own energy as the human, okay? We're doing it on a quantum level, okay? And by doing that way, I'm not absorbing that client's negative energy. So I'm not expending my own energy, so I'm not draining or leaking my own energy, because I'm also connected to a reservoir of infinite consciousness, infinite energy. Plus, when I'm connected to that infinite aspect of self, which is soul and higher selves and so on, they will then connect with the client's higher aspect of self on a quantum level with very little obstruction or impedance to then connect that client to their light. Okay, and by doing that, in that meditative state I'm creating in regards to my healing, I'm charging my energy up. And I'm not absorbing the client's negative energy. How wonderful is that? Okay? So I work with a lot of clients. So I've seen a lot of observation of many different people's modalities. And sometimes I think it's just our perspective or perception of what level we're healing at can have an effect on why I'm seeing regularly that people do have this issue of either the drainage of their energy at the human level, and it can be a connection thing, and it can be also an intention. Where are we using the intention from? From here or here? If we're doing it from here, we're easily going to get exhausted, but we're also going to be a capacity where we're very vulnerable to negative energies, because what happens is our aura is a measure of how connected we are through here. If we're connected through here and therefore connected to all the levels of our existence, that will have an effect on our auric field, because our auric field here will expand out, because our auric field's always fluctuating. Now, if we're in the mind and we lock this off, and hence we're using a very small reservoir of energy and we leak energy very quickly and we get drained very quickly, our auric field shrinks in, because the auric field is a measure of how connected we are to self, okay? Which again causes an ill effect on your ability to heal. Not only that, you are going to get sick yourself. So I hope everybody's really enjoyed this information and what I had to share. If you're interested in learning more about these concepts, please book a session. We have a particular session for intuitives, for healers, for people that would like to learn more, just greater knowing and understanding, to go, and I have a coaching session on my website at trulyholistic.net for healing, pick the Ascendance Healing session. We have a number of tools, a number of products and systems that you can learn how to become your own healer as well. So check those out on my products page at trulyholistic.net. Until next time, see you later.